What is going on, Amazing Race fans? You're back for another episode of Amazing Reviews. Joining me tonight, Calvert. What's up, Calvert?
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday.
Also joining us, Goldberg. What's up, Goldberg?
What's going on?
Well, we had another leg in France. It was pretty interesting. Another non-elimination. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, this episode, I thought it was just okay. But yeah, so let's start it off. We had Kim and Penn and the flight attendants, Raquel and Kayla, leave first, doing the stagger, the group setting. So the episode's roadblock, or the detour, was row your boat or gently down the stream. In row your boat, teams had to paddle a transparent kayak into the Mediterranean Sea and retrieve 10 matching metal fish to receive their next clue from a fisherman. And gently down the stream, teams had to make a 15-minute cruise on a glass-bottom boat called Aquavision, look for 10 metal fish, then find a fish chart with the exact sequence of a fish at a dive shop to receive their next clue from a diver. So, but first, we did have something before that. The teams had to drive at Tour de Faute. Both team members had to eat a piece of bread with casgu merzu, cheese that contains maggots, to receive their next clue. So, I guess let's talk about that. Did you guys know there was such a thing? You ever seen that?
I did not know there was such a thing. I would have just said, okay, this is cheese. And not really paid attention to the fact that there were maggots in it. Jumping.
Goldberg, did you ever see something like this before?
No, I never saw something like it. But I mean, they. Do you ever buy a loaf of bread and it's not sliced? You kind of just like rip off a piece of the bread.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like to eat it. Like that's big deal. It was like ripping off a piece of the bread and eating it. They really didn't. It's not like they had to eat the whole loaf.
That's true. That's true.
It was two. It took Penn, I think, 2 bites. Penn down that thing.
So, I mean, I got a little story that kind of relates to this. That we used to have these, like, I don't know what kind of flies they were, but somehow one of them laid eggs in one of my cereals.
There
so
you
I
go.
eat cereals one day, and I see a freaking maggot in there. It was the nastiest thing ever. Yeah, threw that out real fast.
Well, now if you ever get on the Amazing Race, you're going to regret having thrown that box out.
Right.
It would have been good training.
Practice, right?
Yeah, or one or the other.
Yeah, that was quite a ways back, but we also I don't know, when we take out the garbage in the summer, sometimes we'll see maggots in the garbage, so they're just so nasty. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't enjoy eating it, but I mean, $1 million on the line.
Oh yeah, you're scarfing it down, right?
I'm scarfing it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
I mean, the only real downside of it was that it was dry.
Yeah, everybody kept saying that.
But I mean, to Goldberg's point, it's not like you're eating, a whole hunk of it, plus, 2 pieces of it. You're not making a sandwich with it, so,
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, not many teams really struggled. There was a couple that kind of gagged. I think Kim and Penn gagged.
They did.
Yep, and
Lulu and Lala had a tough time, and
yeah,
that's going to be a reoccurring theme throughout this episode for my comments on Lulu and Lala. I'm really not happy with their performance.
Uh-oh.
Also, not
we
happy
also-
with them not responding to me directly on Twitter, but that's
Hey, they liked it though, did they not?
yeah, but that's just like throwing me a bone, you know. Me
Right.
personally.
Thousands of fans, don't you know?
I mean, if you're gonna reject me, just do it. You know?
Right.
Right. Yeah, maybe we got to start small and go after like Akbar and Sherry or something.
That's the first time they've ever heard that.
Right. Yeah. Oh, very true. But they all got to drive what? Convertibles?
Yeah, really, really freaking nice convertibles.
Oh, that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. They had like an hour and a half drive or something. I believe it was. I think that's what Phil said. An hour and a half drive, just driving in a convertible. That would have been sweet.
I have a question for Calbert. When are people going to smarten up and stop teaming up with your team and then getting burned by them 5 seconds later?
I don't know. You would have thought they would have learned from last week, but they didn't. But it was Kim and Penn's turn this time. So
yeah, but then they forgave them immediately because they waited. for them.
Because they waited. Like that's the thing.
If I'm Penn, I'm driving right by them and flipping them the bird on my way by them. After they
he's
burned me
he's
like
probably
that.
going to cuss at him in 2 different languages while he's doing it.
Let's just say Penn, that guy, man, he's got it all. Nothing he doesn't have. He's a jack of all trades. He can do anything. He can speak any language.
Yeah.
There's no problem with
Where did
doing
that come
anything.
from? Yeah.
He hasn't had a problem doing anything so far.
No.
I mean,
yeah, he speaks French. Like, wow. Or at least he spoke a little bit.
guy's always in a good mood. Like,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, it looked like when we got to the detour, row your boat or gently down the stream. Which one are you guys picking, Goldberg?
you know, I thought about it, and I really could have gone either way. This really wasn't one where I think one was so much easier than the other, but probably would have gone with row your boat, which is the one Ryan and Dusty did, right?
Yes,
correct.
yes.
Because I mean, you're like a couple teams were complaining about the time is really in your own hands. The other one, you got to sit there and wait for the boat, and if you screw up, you got to wait for the ferry again. So I would have done row your boat, and
that's what I would have done too. I'm surprised so many teams did the other one, but I guess it is the physical task versus the non-physical. So I guess I personally, I feel like you can control what happens in row your boat, where you can kind of control the gently down the stream too, but you got to remember everything. So
I would have done gently down the stream because I think it was actually 6 of one, half a dozen of another, right? Because you're either waiting for the boat to take you, and then you have to remember 10 fishes and the color,
right,
or you're deadlifting 10 fishes and making sure that the boat doesn't capsize. So I would have done gently. I mean, ultimately, I don't know necessarily if it would have mattered which one, but gently down the stream, I probably would have done better with memorizing it. Although I will give each team, the teams that did gently down the stream, 4 heads are better than 2. I don't know if the 4 of them could have done it.
That depends on which 4 heads are involved.
That's true.
It shows who the better teams, who the smarter teams are. The cream always rises to the top.
Right.
And the smarter teams showed in that that one.
Yeah, I agree. I think, row your boat. I mean, it seemed like it was very easy to get water inside. Obviously, as we saw, they actually tipped over, and then they had to try to get it back. That seemed like try to flip the boat back upright. So that looked a little tough, but they were able to get it done. It did seem a little physically taxing, but I think like Raquel and Kayla could have done it. They're in good shape. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
Kim and Penn probably could have too, but
That's true.
did you
Penn
did
can
you
do
guys?
anything.
Yeah, that's true. Did you guys like that they teamed up? Kim and Penn and Raquel and Kayla. Do you think that was a good move?
For
For Raquel and Kayla.
yeah, I was gonna say because Penn's like a savant. He can remember everything.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
I mean, did you see when they were like all like going over the 10 fish again, and Penn was like, "No, just let me say it. I got it." Like,
Yeah. I got
he
it.
knew it.
I got it.
Right. So what was the little
Well,
not a
wait,
lot of drama, but what was the drama between them?
Oh, because at that arrow, they got to the detour first because they passed Kim Penn because Raquel and Kayla found the arrow and turned left, and Kim Penn were basically making a U-turn, and they passed them well, and then
They
Kim
also got out of the car and didn't wait for them once they
right.
got there. Yeah.
Right. And they mutually agreed that they were gonna wait. So
Right.
Sounds
it was a
awfully familiar.
little bit of a cross, but
Not terrible.
no, not terrible. Yeah, then we had obviously Ryan and Dusty did row your boat, and it seemed like when Lulu and Lala and Aaron and Natalia did the gently down the stream, it seemed like if you got it right the first time, it was a little quicker than doing the row your boat. But they also tipped over too, so maybe if you didn't tip over, it would have probably been maybe a little quicker.
Well, and Ryan and Dusty caught another break because they were right next to each other. Like it had a sign that said, here's row your boat, here's gently down the stream.
Right.
So if Ryan would have gone with if Ryan and Dusty would have gone with their famous, I don't know, should we switch this week?
Yeah.
I think that could be the last time that it's that close as far as detours go for the rest of the season.
It might be, but they also made it a point that they were going to go with their instinct of doing the more physical. I don't know if you caught that, but they did say that. So I think they stuck to their game plan this week, and I think that's what they got to start doing. Like, no, none of this indecisions, because when they do the indecisions, it's not really working out for them. They got lucky with the flag task, but obviously you saw them kind of get burned by it last week. So I thought they had a pretty solid leg this week. So yeah, and then we had Lulu and Lala and Aaron and Natalia had to do the gently down the stream task twice. But Goldberg, I'm going to let you defend your team's honor.
No, there's no defense. This is strike 2 this week already, and we're early in the episode for Lulu and Lala. So, they saw Ryan and Dusty, right? They could see them from the distance. So they knew the second go around that they were last at this point. I don't know that I would have kept teaming up with Aaron and Natalia at that point, because if you team up, okay, you're both making it. I mean, wouldn't you take the chance that you can outperform Aaron and Natalia and just do it yourself at that point and hope you're like, why go last together? Why finish last together and have to squeak out barely finish ahead of them? Why would you guys have stayed and teamed up with them again? It's at least something to think about, right? Like,
yeah, you consider it.
Lily, stop.
I probably see if it's me. Yeah, if it's me, I get one crack at it, and then okay, I tried. I'm not going to wait another 15 minutes. By the time the boat comes back, and then we get back in the boat, and then we have to go find the same or actually different fish, which that was kind of weird, by the way. The water was, really, really cloudy for like it looked like editing, but probably 5 minutes. Oh, I don't see. Every team was like, "Oh, I don't see anything. I don't see anything."
Yeah. But I'm not necessarily saying switch to the other one. I'm just saying, if you're gonna get back on that ferry, I would just tell Aaron and Natalia, listen, we're both obviously in last at this point. I think we should just take our shot separately. You look for your fish, we'll look for our fish. No hard feelings or anything, but we're
That's
both
true.
clearly in last at this point. So,
Yep.
why be in last together?
Yeah,
Well,
because then you're
sorry.
kind of just like you're basically attached at the hip almost.
Yeah.
And I don't think you want to be in that position. If you like, okay, and Raquel, Kayla, and Kim and Pens, yeah, they're out in front. I mean,
Right.
that's a no-brainer. Let's just keep out
And you
in
have
front.
another car ride coming after this.
Well, and
So-
and so my thought was in my head was, okay, they tried it first, it didn't work out, and then they went, okay, you remember two fish, you remember two fish, you remember two fish.
Yeah.
Could you remember a third if you had to? I'm not 100% sure that they could remember a third fish, because look at how hard it was for them to all remember two fish.
Embarrassing.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, you're right. Like you're stuck. You're committed, but I guess you could try it, but trying to remember, split it up and say 5. Let's say, can you do 5 fish? No. Each person does 5. I don't think that happens either. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think the detour was it almost was like there was no way third through fifth were gonna catch up to first and second.
Right.
And that's what I didn't really like about this episode. I mean, unless you really, really struggled with what we're gonna talk about next, I just don't I mean pretty much everything was pretty much the same.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
That's true.
So, okay, so then the roadblock was one team member had to repair the holes in a fishing net to receive their next clue. I mean, it looked, I don't know. I feel like this, I mean, it probably was a little tough, but I feel like after you got it, you had it.
Not for 10.
Well,
Pen 10
yeah,
struggled.
I mean, it
Pen
took
was
a
like,
little
oh,
bit.
look, I got this little part, and then, it came apart.
Well, right. Yeah, they struggled at the start, but I feel like, I mean, clearly the standings didn't change, obviously. So,
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for. Like, there's a learning curve to it, but then I feel like after that, it was just everybody kind of went through that learning curve. There was only one.
Right.
There was one spot that did change. You are correct in that. But yeah, go ahead.
Well,
Goldberg.
you're right. It was almost like watching two separate episodes. We had the first two teams, and then, well, it was actually like 3. I mean, you're right. There was nobody was really at risk of ever getting past or ever screwing up, except for the last 2, and they were kind of on their own. You're right. It was like the first 2 teams. Then Ryan and Dusty had their own little episode, and then the last 2 had their little.
Yeah. Ryan and Dusty were the only. I mean, Ryan and Dusty did catch up to them, but it was too. There's no way they were going to pass one of them. It really wasn't that exciting of a roadblock. I'll just say that.
It was frustrating.
Yeah,
I think I would have struggled personally doing that.
Yeah, I would have struggled with it. I would have been very, really, really, really frustrated. Go ahead.
I'm actually really good with knots. My wife had a necklace that got all tangled up because my daughter was playing with it, and she's like, "Here you go," because she knows I can get knots out pretty well. Now, yes, you really do have to concentrate, and you have to see where the tangle is, which can be very tough. Like, okay, Goldberg and Calver. I mean, you've all had like a Super Nintendo or a N64 where all the freaking cords get tangled up and stuff like that. Yeah, that can get frustrating. I mean, you saw Penn; he was dripping with sweat. I mean,
Yeah, he was. That's true.
Yep. So, yeah, I think it was It was a little tough, but I think like once you got it, you got it. But I do want to mention though that Aaron and Natalia did the task, and Lulu and Lala did actually pass her. So
Yeah, but let me real quick mention Lulu and Lala's third strike in the episode is
okay,
when they stopped to ask for directions on the
They
way
did.
to this roadblock, and Aaron and Natalia debated, should we stop and should we go with them? Nope, they kept going and they arrived there first, and they should have stayed ahead of them the whole time if Natalia didn't struggle
right.
with the roadblock. But come on, you gotta like trust your gut sometimes and go with it. Like, they're getting a little shaky and questioning everything, and
Plus, not to mention, all you're doing is really looking at a guy that's pointing his finger in the direction you're supposed to go.
yeah.
And he's at top. I mean, how hard can that be?
Well,
I mean
I think Goldberg's
that was a
mentioning when they're in the
separate.
car.
Yeah, that was even. They had to do it twice. You're right. I mean, they had to do it twice. Twice they got confused.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually a good move by Aaron and Natalia. I mean, it actually worked out for them. They probably got a little lucky there, but yeah, Natalia does that a little quicker. I mean, they might be the fourth place team. It was really close to the mat between those two.
Yeah.
So,
And in those steps, oh, geez, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking like that might have been one of the closer like races we've had to the mat probably since Akbar and Sherry, and Raquel and Kayla. So, so I don't know. So yeah, let's then when you had to find the mat, teams had to find a Napoleon impersonator who would direct them to the pit stop. So that was an interesting take. So yeah. Any other thoughts about the roadblock?
I thought it was interesting that the guy that was doing the demonstrator, he didn't say anything, like, at all.
No. Yeah, I bet he was probably told to be like, you can't. You just keep doing the knot, and then that's it.
Speaking of which, how about when they were eating the cheese at the beginning, and Kim was trying to like talk to the guy and ask him like questions about the cheese. Did you see that? And like,
yes.
I don't think the guy spoke a lick of English, and she just kept asking him stupid questions, and even Penn was like, "All right, like enough already."
I think he said to your team, I think it was your team, Goldberg. Yeah. Oh, the maggots jump up in the air.
You're right.
Yes. Oh yeah, that was funny. That was actually pretty funny.
I guess he did speak English.
I mean, I think that's what, four words, right? I mean, so it's not much, but oh, cool, they jump. That's interesting. But we'll see.
So yeah, the standings of this episode were Kim and Penn coming in at first, back to back. Raquel and Kayla coming in at second, again back to back. Ryan and Dusty coming in at third, back to back. And Lulu and Lala coming in fourth. They did move up one from last week. And Aaron and Natalia moved down one, coming in at fifth. But non-elimination, this team can thank their lucky stars again that they did not get eliminated. Or I should rephrase that. They did get eliminated, but they got lucky. But this is their second time with the non-elim. So, Calbert, what do you think overall of the episode?
I thought it was average. I didn't think there was a whole lot to write home about. Other than the cars and the net, like making the knots. I didn't really think much of it.
Yeah, I thought the cars was really cool. I mean, I'd probably give it like a 6.5 just because of the convertible. But I guess Ryan and Dusty's the detour was the row your boat was kind of exciting. But yeah, anything else was just Goldberg, what'd you think?
All right, hear me out. I have a case to make.
Floor is yours.
All right. When we restarted the race, we obviously both your teams were unfairly unable to return. So we let, you guys pick new teams. I am making a case tonight. That's right. To drop Lulu and Lala and pick a new team. Now hear me out. I know it's been 2 weeks, or only 2 teams have been eliminated since the repick. Started with 7, we're down to 5. Not much has changed other than 2 teams that we expected not to be here anyway. So Lulu and Lala broke my cardinal rule. Never get 3 strikes in one episode. I've had enough of them. Don't feel like they have a future. If I'm stuck with them, I'm stuck with them, but I would like to repick.
I believe you did say, because it was,
Wow,
it was an option was given to you. Are you sure? I believe I said that.
He had the option to repick as well if he wanted, because it was only fair.
Because
but he said,
I wonder who he's gonna pick. Gee,
he's a man of loyalty.
When Calbert passed up Kim and Penn with the second pick,
right?
And I should have switched to them. In all honesty, they are.
Oh.
But if I gotta stick with the Twins, I'll stick with the Twins. But
it's a democracy. It's a group decision. Girls, what do you think?
Oh, he's stuck.
Okay.
You ain't getting out. Yep. Yep.
To be fair, I was going to let you make the change.
Okay,
but
well, then it's 1-1. I guess I get the third vote.
Ah.
But wow. You did just say that you're going to stick, so you're stuck.
That's a shame.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's not like, you did see their first 2 episodes, their first 3 episodes.
We did warn you.
But they did have 2 episode streak where they turned a corner. They looked like they were heading in the right direction. And since then, I've been waiting for it to happen again. They just have not. They have not looked good.
You really think they're going to get eliminated before Aaron and Natalia?
Yes.
Oh, I don't. I do not believe that one bit.
Based on that preview, I mean, I know they're good at like previewing things that don't end up happening, but
yeah,
I mean, they're out in the next 2 episodes at this point. I think the top 3 are. I think the top 2 are. No, I think the top 3 at this point are pretty clear.
I don't know, man. Ryan and Dusty.
I like thinking
Dusty
Lulu
are kind of
Lala had a shot to pass the other girls at least and sneak into the top 3. But at this point, I mean, unless next episode they didn't mention having 2 start times, so maybe everyone starts fresh. But I don't know.
I think I think they do. I mean, obviously they're going to another country, a different country, I should say. Yeah, but in the preview though, we did see Raquel and Kayla struggling too.
Yes, they did. Yes, they do.
So that doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Apparently Raquel struggles with the roadblock, I guess. So,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. See. Sometimes maybe I read too much into the editing of episodes, and it just seems like Raquel and Kayla have become such a focus of the show right now. I don't. Does anyone else get that vibe? Like,
yeah, I mean, because they're kind of doing the villain. They're not villains per se, but we've had a couple weeks now where they've told something and then done something else. We should also mention though that Raquel and Kayla did make up for it with Kim and Penn when they waited for them. So
they did.
That was
no.
I didn't. I think that was a smart move on their part, but it wasn't like a genuine. We'll wait for them. It was like, hey, we might need them next leg, so let's fucking wait for them right now.
Oh yeah, they're scheming for something. Yeah, there's no question.
And Penn got fooled. Hey, you ever see that show? Penn and Teller fool us?
Yes.
Yes. I just want to say that, I mean, I've seen episodes though where they've shown a team in trouble and it's not even that team that gets eliminated. It's like a totally different team that wasn't.
Well, right. Look at Ryan and Dusty off the preview. Like, okay, we knew they were going to struggle. What if we, yes, we all pieced together that it was going to be a non-elimination, but Not 100% sure. So, they could still be trying to flip the boat back over.
Yeah, I mean, Akbar and Sherry, I don't even think they had a preview for the leg they got eliminated. So,
right.
I mean, it's I don't know.
At this point, honestly, I'm going to say, one more little part to my case. I actually don't even think Kim and Penn are going to win the whole thing at this point, but I would just switch to them at this point only because I think they're obviously a staple in the top three and have a chance to win. And I'm past the point of thinking Lulu and Lala even have a chance. I think they put themselves on the level of Aaron and Natalia right now.
Wow.
They're the bottom two. I mean, there's no question. They're the bottom two. And when you're palling around with the loser team who's been eliminated every week and somehow doesn't get eliminated, you don't want to be palling around with them. You want to be palling around with Kim and Penn, not Aaron and Natalia.
Or well, Ryan and Dusty though they couldn't pal around with because they took the other detour.
Right, but like that's a team you'd want to be palling around with at this point.
True.
I mean, I liked Kim and Penn from the beginning. I liked Kim and Penn, but yeah, I was I had a proud moment, decided to stick with the girls, but I could have vetoed you guys repicking, right?
That is technically true. Although it does worry me because Hurls and I have been on Ryan and Dusty thinking that they were going to win. I mean, we all kind of
I don't think they're going to win either.
Oh, you don't? Okay. You don't think Ryan?
So I think he's got one of the wild card teams.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah, I think Calbert's right.
As much as I wish that would be right, I don't think that's going to happen.
I think Calvert is right, and I'll tell you why. And maybe I'm crazy, but I watch reality shows my whole life. Like I love reality shows, and I feel like they're honing in on this Raquel and Kayla thing, needing the money so badly, and they I don't know. I just feel like this was the episode that they were really put to the forefront, and it was mentioned numerous times how they're out of work and they need the money, and it would make sense.
It would make. We've seen that before too, where like I mean it's winning that kind of money, it's a very emotional thing for the teams that do it.
They've also mentioned multiple times about wanting an all-girl team to win, and it's just like even Penn said it, like, "Oh, I wouldn't mind if one of the girl team." What are you talking about, dude? Don't you want to win?
Right.
What are you doing it for then? Right? No.
I don't know. I think there also you can look at the edits a million different ways. You could say that they're scheming right now, but that scheming could come back to bite them in the. Okay, right now, who are you U-turning? Who are you U-turning if you're Kim and Penn? We'll just say Kim and Penn because they're in first. If there is going to be a U-turn, are you going to U-turn Ryan and Dusty like we talked about? I think
they would.
Okay, so you still think Ryan and Dusty are getting U-turned?
Yeah, I think everybody's the remaining four teams all don't want to see Ryan and Dusty win.
What about Raquel and Kayla though? This is twice now that they've done something.
They found a way to weasel by and look, make better.
If last week's knife stab in the back was egregious, this was just a club to the knee. It wasn't terrible. Shake it off, you'll be fine. I mean, you got a little bit of a limp, but you'll be okay.
Yeah. I think nobody's going to beat them in a foot race. I don't think.
Well, what if I said I want to switch to Aaron and Natalia? I bet you'd let me do it then.
So many layers.
Sorry.
Millions of.
I didn't hear what you said there. Sorry.
Yeah, repeat that.
We're gonna lose massive points for that one.
Yeah. Damn it. We're too hot for TV, though.
Well, it was nice to be close to the top. I could kind of see it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Repeat what you said.
What I said was, what if I said, okay, I'm switching to Aaron and Natalia? I bet you'd have no problem with that.
Well, good. Enjoy
yes, I would. Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yep. You had a chance to switch. You had the first pick, actually.
And you had
the first pick.
You had a chance in episode 1 to pick who you wanted. We knew there were flight risks this season.
There was never a team in the history of Amazing Race where they didn't get eliminated but never came back to the show.
Ah, man. All right, I lost this season, but I'll see you next season.
Uh,
I'll be back.
I mean, yes, season 34 is already. They're already taking casting for it.
Maybe you'll see. Maybe you'll see me on it.
See,
Oof,
see, Goldberg's gonna end up being right again.
No, they're not gonna win. They're not gonna win. I don't think so.
I don't think they are either. But watch.
I don't see how you could get at this point. There's just no way. Like Will and James were a top team last season, pretty much the entire time.
I never got the editing with them though. I mean, the editing was all about the alliance,
Right.
but I don't know if it was ever specifically towards Will and James.
No, I mean, I don't really remember, but I mean, who would it have been towards then? There was really no team it was towards, right?
No, and that's why I hated last season because it was all a bunch of, that alliance just killed it. There was no like drama towards the end. It just deflated because
At least
they
this year.
they just took out everybody.
Yeah, at least.
Well, put it this way. Here, let me ask both of you.
Mhm.
Kim and Penn and Ryan Adosi are shoo-ins for a final, don't you think?
You would think,
I would-
but you just don't know. Like the U-turn, if there is going to be a U-turn, it's just I don't know. I don't know. I thought to be fair, and we're gonna go through our power rankings coming here, but I thought they had a good leg this week. I think they did really solid this week. Now, Calvert, you seem to have some reservations. I'm not sure what you didn't like about him, but we'll get to it obviously. But I thought they had a really good leg. I thought Kim and Penn, obviously, and Raquel and Kayla had a really good leg too.
Mhm.
I don't think they really did anything bad. Yeah, Lala and Lulu definitely had the worst leg, but still beat Aaron and Natalia. And you could even look at it this way. Aaron and Natalia actually probably had a good leg, besides the roadblock, but they still ended up taking fifth. So I still think Aaron and Natalia got to be the next team gone.
They've got to be, and they're out of to continue the video game theme for just a second. They're out of lives. The 9 cat
they are.
9 cat lives those are gone. They don't even have half a life. You can't even get a pennant to get another life. So they're pretty much done.
It's not out of the question that they would pass Lulu and Lala next episode.
It could happen, but they would have to. They would just have to have some type of leg where it's just like nothing goes wrong for them because they have such their fail rate is so high. You know what I mean?
That all season. They haven't shown that they can't put one foot in front of the other and not screw up. Right? I mean,
leg 2 they did okay.
Yeah.
That was their best performance, but
right.
Man, I don't know. I'm not sure, but Goldberg, your breaking news. That was your breaking news, right?
Yeah, it was more of a breaking request.
Okay. All right. Well, Goldberg,
I demand a revote.
Goldberg, you start the power rankings this week. So who's your number 5 team right now?
Lulu, no, Aaron and Natalia. So
okay.
Aaron and Natalia. I think, yeah, obviously there's no reason not to put them number 5.
Right. I mean, they could have made a statement this week if Natalia would have got that roadblock done first.
Yeah.
She could have made a statement, but nope.
Body of work, I think I'd still be putting them last, even if they finished 4th this week.
Calvert, who's your 5th place team?
It's Aaron and Natalia. I mean, I've outside of the verbal tongue lashing that I gave Akbar and Sherry, it has. I mean, I thought they would have been gone weeks ago at this point. In fact, I even, helped pack their bags for them. Go back to Detroit. This is one of the weirder seasons where it's every week is different, obviously, but like there are some really, really bad teams this year. Really, really bad. There are some good ones, but there are some historically bad ones. And they're right up there on towards I'd say the upper echelon of one of the worst.
Well, right. I mean, but that also is a testament to what happened.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, think about if we still had Anthony and Spencer. Think about if we still had Caro and Ray.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and your team, your original team, Connie and Sam.
Original team. Wait, are you saying you repicked?
Oh boy!
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. Go ahead.
But yeah, I just think there's we kept the two worst teams clearly. We still had Akbar and Sherry, and no offense to them, but you're right. I mean, it does look like pros versus Joes right now.
Really does.
Yep. All right. So yeah, I got Aaron and Natalia too. That's they're still fifth by a long shot. They would have to come in like first place for me to even put them at the fourth spot, and that didn't happen, and it's not going to happen. So they're fifth. Goldberg, who's your fourth place team now? This is interesting.
No, it's not. Lulu and Lala. They're clearly fourth. I mean, there's a top three right now, and they're not in it.
Okay. Well, that's who I got. Lulu and Lala. Or I'm sorry, Calvert. Who's your fourth place team?
It's still Lulu and Lala. The numbers just changed. That's all. That's all it is. They're lucky. They're incredibly lucky that Aaron and Natalia are still here because Goldberg's right. I don't like the way things are going for them.
Yeah, they're making some crucial mistakes. There's no question.
The one saving grace that they might get as this progresses is if Ryan and Dusty continue to struggle-ish, it is theoretically possible that they catch a break. They don't do anything stupid. They don't ask for directions. They don't yell at each other, which, they're not going to do next week. I can tell you that because they're going to already yell at each other. I'll ruin that part for a little small spoiler for the preview.
Who yells at each other?
Lulu and Lala.
Oh, okay.
Lulu and Lala yell at each other. So, okay. But they're sisters, so that's what sisters do. I mean, it's possible that they don't get eliminated the following week, but we'll see. Long way to go.
Goldberg, number 3.
This one's a little tough, but overall body of work. At this point, I'm going to put Raquel and Kayla number 3, even though I do stand by what I said. I do think they're going to win the whole thing, but at this point, I'll put them number 3 for just overall body of work.
Calvert, number 3.
So I got a new number 3, and it's Ryan and Dusty. Now, I think that Ryan and Dusty probably still win, but this is a week-to-week power ranking, so I got to go with what I've seen over the last couple of weeks, and they've kind of struggled last 2 weeks. So I got them third.
Yeah. I mean, okay. It's your power ranking, and I got, it's your, and that's fine. I mean, I could see how you could put them at 3, but did they really struggle this week though? I mean, besides not getting the knot challenge done in
the boat tipping over. I mean,
true. That's true.
Like, it's not like that's the thing. We talked about that a couple weeks ago with them. Like, they are good enough to win the whole thing, and I think would still. I mean, my percentage would be like 60% for them to still win. But you talked to me, 2-3 weeks ago, it was 90.
Yeah,
there was no way anybody was going to catch them. So it's just it's all up in the head. So if they get out of their heads and just do what they need to do, I think they'll be fine. But I don't like the way things are going. I mean,
here's the thing I like about them. And I guess I could save it for when I get to them, but they can make a mistake, but yet they can still come back.
Right.
Whereas like other teams, like if Aaron and Natalia make a mistake, you know they're done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Ryan and Dusty, they can do something really fast. If there's anything physical, they're gonna pass a team. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. But you are right though, in puzzle or mental challenges, they could absolutely be stuck on a task and it could cost them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess, yeah, I can see it 3. So my number 3 team is Raquel and Kayla. They didn't really, like, this leg didn't really show me anything from them. They had, I mean, if you're really cutthroat, you just go past Kim and Penn, right? Like, why wait?
Yeah.
I know you made the agreement, but man, if they could have won this week had they maybe not waited. Who knows? So,
Well, and that's sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think they have still not taken a first place leg for me, so that's why I got to put them at number 3. But yeah, go ahead.
That's the other thing we've learned about this season too, is that the teams, we've seen this all. That's one other consistent thing we've seen all season this year. The teams that either wait or try to help another team, if that team did that, either they waited or they helped another team, that ends up costing the team that did that, right? For example, Aaron and Natalia, right? They helped with the bagpipe, right? Natalia did. So that kind of cost them, right? So I don't know. I don't know if the let's work on this together. We don't really hate anybody other than Ryan and Dusty, and hate's a strong word. They don't really hate them, but they want to beat them. I mean, I don't know. I think that's going to come to an end. I think that starts this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could have had an opportunity to win a prize this week.
Sure.
But maybe they're playing a long-term game, and that could be too. So it's tough. Goldberg, who is your number 2 team?
Okay, number 2, I have Ryan and Dusty. I think they're. I haven't seen enough of a struggle to put them below Raquel and Kayla. I get it, Raquel and Kayla have come on the last 2 weeks or so, but Ryan and Dusty still overall they're a strong team, and they showed it when they fell behind, how quickly they made up ground. Granted, it was against Akbar and Sherry, but still, I think I still plug them into second.
Calbert.
My number 2 is Raquel and Kayla, which is my pick. I mean, so they have at least been nothing else. Now, yes, have they done some things that would be categorized as sneaky or mean? Okay, I'll give you that. But they've also been very, very consistent for about the last 3-4 weeks. So I got them at 2.
They're basically D'Angelo and Gary, because they did that a lot last season.
Correct.
So
of course, that didn't end well for me. But
that's all right. They took it for it. Not bad. All right, my number 2 team. Yeah, I'm gonna put. I think it is very, very close, but I am gonna put Ryan and Dusty at 2. Something about Kim and Penn right now, even though they had a couple bad first legs, but they're starting to just be very level-headed, cool, calm, and collective. So I'm going to put Ryan and Dusty, but this can easily change going into see what happens next week. But Ryan Dusty, I thought, had a pretty solid. I don't really fault them with the canoe too much. I think that was just more of how much they weigh versus them kind of screwing it up.
I don't think they actually thought how heavy it was those fish were going to be. They were just like, oh, we just pick up the fish, it'll be fine. This will be easy. We'll get it done in 5 minutes.
Right. Yeah. And then clearly it weighed the boat down and got water in.
Right.
So, yeah, I think they were trying to bull rush it, not try to be finesse with it. And I mean, it hurt them a little bit. But, yeah, I'm putting them at 2. So, all right. So that means we all got the same number 1. But Goldberg, why don't you declare your number 1 here?
Yeah, Kim and Penn, they've necked out ahead of everybody else now. Penn is this guy. I'm very impressed with him. And yeah, I mean, if we go back to our preview of the entire season, I think I was higher on them than you guys were from the beginning. So
You were.
I think you should let me switch to them. However, at this point, they are the number one team in all of our rankings, clearly. So
I had them in my top 3. So
Yeah, I had them kind of.
I was pretty high on them.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I think I had them 3rd, but yeah.
I think that and obviously for me, Kim and Penn are 1 also. I think the thing for me, and maybe I didn't really grasp this as the season began, but the fact that Penn can speak, I don't know, I counted at least 4 languages. Just over the last couple episodes. I mean, so that's impressive. When we talk about that as the season generally goes on, or in a preview of the season, if you have a person that can speak multiple languages, it really, really helps. That's almost as important as can you do the puzzle at the end.
Yeah. Do you think though, like I see a lot of like in sports you get winning streaks and you get hot momentum. Yeah. I think there's going to be another leg coming up though, and I know there's not that many, but I think we could see some I mean they're really hot right now, but all it takes is for, another male challenge on the train.
Right. And just right. And I mean, how often have we seen it even this year? Just because you finish first one week doesn't mean you're going to finish first even at the end of the leg,
Correct.
I mean, you're right. That's a fair point.
So I don't get domination from them.
No.
They're really good though. They are really good, but I'm not going to put them at like a green team level or
they're also in great shape for, I mean, I don't know how old they are. They're clearly older than everyone else. Oh, well, except for Aaron, right?
Yes.
They are 45 and 47.
Who's 47?
I think Penn
is 47, yeah.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, they're in pretty good shape for 45 and 47. Not that that's old really, but
right.
I mean, yeah, they're in great shape, and I like how Penn likes to play the angle that he's an old man with his glasses, and Ryan and Dusty. But Penn's in great shape, man.
He played basketball too. I think he was pretty good at basketball. I think I was reading his bio somewhere in there, said he was a basketball player.
Right, the reverse of Clark Kent.
Yeah.
And you know what? For a season where the looks of women is a little down, Kim may be up there.
Yeah. I'll give you that. She's an attractive older lady.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, my number 1 is Kim and Penn. Like I said, they're riding a big wave right now, and I got to put them ahead of Ryan Dusty. Back-to-back first place. I think they've won 3 first place legs now. So I believe that would tie them with Ryan and Dusty. So yes, it would. So
attention, I can tell you, I know at least where they're going next week. Would you like to know?
Yes.
Would you like to, let me rephrase the question. Would you like to guess where they're going?
I actually might know this. I think they're going to.
If I get it right, can I switch teams?
It's actually spoiled on Wikipedia.
Correct.
Yep.
I have no idea.
Okay, it's Greece.
So it's probably going to be a smaller town. It's not going to be a big city. So.
Right. It starts with an H. Hakidia?
Hakidia.
Something. Close. It's
Wow.
Grease. It's Grease. So there you go. I mean, that's one that they haven't. They go to Grease consistently. I would say probably every other year. Usually.
I remember, the last Grease leg I can remember. You can help me out a little bit with this, Calbert. Was the team from the season where they did the draft, so they were all singles.
Yes.
And they chose their partner, and it was the guy from Pittsburgh with the big beard.
Yes.
They went to Greece because I remember they were on that track field. And I think that was the episode they got eliminated on. So
that's also true. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I think that was the last time. I want to say that was season. It was either 29 or 30. So
29 sticking out on my head, but I'd have to.
Yeah, I think it was 29.
I think
If
that's
I had
right.
to guess, but
Well, before we wrap this up, let me ask you one more question, and then I'll stop bothering you about a repick.
No, you can't. You can't repick. There's your question.
One more question. If you two could repick right now, would you switch teams?
I don't think I would.
I don't think I would.
Don't think I would.
Okay,
I think I'd keep it.
Then why do you care if I go with Kim and Pat?
Because there's only.
So you don't win again?
I'm not gonna win because they could. Well, Kim and Pat.
I do not. I still think
probably
Kim
the
and Penn
odds
could
on.
easily win this. I mean, they could easily win.
I think any of the top three can win at this point right now.
Well,
Raquel and Kayla could team up with somebody in a final and screw them over and pass them.
Raquel and Kayla could also go on a scenic route, and this one could actually really, really cost them because it's Greece. So, I mean, I don't know. And to Hurl's point, like, the preview doesn't look so good, like, at all.
So, yeah, something big happens.
Yeah,
it looks like so Raquel's problem is she's stuck on the roadblock. It looks like,
right.
And the other with Lala and Lulu, it looks like they made a wrong turn somewhere.
Yeah. They it looks like which that's actually happened. It doesn't happen as often, but there have been some points. I'm thinking like season 18, 17, where teams have done that, where they haven't completed the task, didn't know they didn't complete it, or forgot that they didn't complete it, and went, "Oh, look, there's Phil. Hey, cool."
Yes, that does happen quite often, actually.
Yeah.
Yep, I think you're right. I think it was 17. It was I never finished that season because if you notice, Amazing Race is no longer on Hulu, unfortunately. Well, some of the seasons aren't on Hulu.
Right.
Before they were all on there, but yeah, it was the models, the guy and the girl, the runway models. They thought that they basically skipped the whole task, and they had to go back and do or either they had to get a clue and then go to Phil. I think that's what the issue was, but that's actually happened quite a few times.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. Like, I mean, for as much as we have officially buried and given last rites to Aaron and Natalia, that could be the break that they need to go on another week.
They could sneak in there. I mean, Sherry and Cole, we've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't win, but
right,
you can get some luck, and they had luck to make it to the final three.
Now we also don't. That's the other thing too. We don't exactly know where the task is. It doesn't look like it's terribly far from the mat, but Lulu and that's when Lulu and Nala started arguing with each other. As Phil's like, oh, well, at least you know where the mat is now. That's actually what he said. At least you know where the mat is now. Have fun doing the task.
Goldberg, I got to ask you, though, how much of your trying to get a repick is because Lulu and Lala just did not respond to you on Twitter? A little bit, right?
No, it's a lot of it, 100%.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. But I'm a little, I thought I'd at least get something back, but that's okay. That's okay. Kim, now I'm going to shoot my shot with Kim. So get a response from her.
Good luck. They're like the most popular team on here. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Like who do Lulu and Lala think they are? Like you're not in a position where you're too big to respond to a little guy like me.
Oh boy, this is
But
great.
arriving to the finish line before you're supposed to doesn't really bode well. So
Yeah, it's not a death sentence though. It's not a death sentence. I mean, it's happened.
They're still alive. Look at
You still have Aaron and Natalia in the race too.
yeah. That's the thing. They've
listen,
They're-
I'll take. I guess a fourth place finish is okay. It's not bad.
No, that's I think when we did this draft, the first couple seasons I got fourth or fifth like every year.
Well, yeah. This season you got like eighth reality.
Oh man, you know what? Here, I'll tell you right now, Goldberg. If Anthony and Spencer come back and actually run I'll automatically just pick them. How's that sound?
If Anthony and Spencer were still in the race, and Connie and Sam were still in the race, I think Lulu and Lala would be out by now.
Probably.
yes they
Probably. Yep. Well, even Ray and Carol and Ray. I mean, they were.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't even know how good they could have been.
It's true.
I mean, they weren't bad by any means.
I definitely peg Lulu and Lala wrong by their. I mean, who? It's obviously hard to peg anyone by just looking at a cast picture, but
and reading the bio. Yeah, I mean that's
I
part
thought
of.
they were going to be tougher. Raquel and Kayla are kind of what I thought Lulu and Lala would be. Kind of tough.
I never really. I think I had them at fourth or fifth to preview. I thought they were going to be pretty good. I don't know what it was, but
If it makes you feel any better, Goldberg, Hurls will get this reference in about 2 seconds as soon as I say it. The tire. I
yes,
and vengeful over a tire for what, Hurls? 6 seasons now?
Season 26. That's 7 seasons ago. Yep.
And it's over a tire. That's it.
Yep.
That's
That
all it
was
is.
nothing they could have. Well, yeah. How do you? I don't even know what they could have done to stay alive in that. I don't even know.
To make yourself feel better, which I'm attempting to do, and I don't exactly know if I'm doing a very good job of it. You could have relied on a tire for you to win, and that was at that particular moment, and then that for about 2 or 3 seasons, that was my best finish. So.
Well, I mean, you also picked the track stars who are still looking for the trail sign.
Yes, they are.
Yep,
True.
Yep.
And I remember that season, and I literally said, "They're track stars. How could they lose in the event of a race to the mat? No one's beating them."
I mean, Goldberg. I mean, the point of the game is you're not supposed to win every season.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you can try.
No, John, I'll be more careful next time I allow you guys a repick.
Yeah.
Let's hope we never have to repick.
That's the thing, and I mean, ultimately, and I mean, we've had it where I've had it where I picked somebody. I'm thinking of the firefighters just as an example, and they were gone in the first week.
Well, yeah, look at me.
Yeah.
They were gone, I think, second or third, but yeah, they were. I mean, look at me with Sean Marion and Cedric Sabalos. I mean, man, that was not a good pick.
Right.
That was a terrible pick.
I tried to steer away from that one, but you didn't.
No, I had a soft spot. I always liked Sean Marion, so right. It is what it is.
Right.
Right. We all make some bad picks.
All right, it wasn't that bad.
No, it's not. They're not even out yet. I don't even know. You're already writing them off.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm writing Aaron and Natalia off too.
Well, right.
True. You'd be just as good if you would have picked them.
Right.
You got the tombstone ready to go with the dirt. You're just working on the chisel of the dates at this point.
You are right.
I would be in the same
boat if I picked Aaron and Natalia right
now. Yes. There's no difference. No difference, really.
There is no difference.
Because they're all going to start probably at the same time. So,
which I still hate. I still don't like. That's probably my biggest gripe of the entire season.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't see how that has anything to do with COVID. Like, what's the reasoning for that?
I'd like to know, but I don't know.
Yeah, it is a little strange. All right, so we're going to Greece next week. We don't really know what they're going to be doing. Do you know what Calver, what's the title of the episode?
Good question.
I don't know if we have that on there,
I
but
don't know if we have that on here. Let me look. Ooh. Slovakia.
Oh, here it is. It's
Yep.
Goodbye, Lulu and Lala.
Good.
Well, the ninth episode title is Rock Bottom. That's a lot easier to say.
So you got Slovakia and Rock Bottom.
Yep.
Okay. And then episode 10 is Lulu and Lala get their revenge.
And they end up winning the entire thing.
Right. So we know there's only 10 episodes this season. So we are having eliminations from here on out.
Absolutely.
The non-elims are gone.
Yeah.
Okay. That we know for sure.
They've got to be. It's and look at that. Goldberg was right. Goldberg said that like 3 weeks ago. He said, this is what they're gonna do. It's on one, off one, on one, off one. So
it's do or die now.
Right.
So,
and that's an interesting thought, by the way. Before we wrap it up officially, Phil might be right. Phil would have to look that up in the history of Amazing Race. I'm trying to think. I don't ever remember a team lasting this long. This is the third time that they should have been officially eliminated, and they're not.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, Sherry and Cole, I think they might have been twice.
Mm-hmm.
Twice, I think. But man, 3 times is. Yeah, Sherry and Cole definitely hit it twice. I know that. But not 3.
Right.
Not 3 times. So. All right. And I think that'll do it. Any final comments from Goldberg? I think Goldberg's just not having fun anymore.
Nope. He's officially gone in the corner.
Okay.
He's working.
No,
He's picking on the shows.
I mean, after Lulu and Lala are gone next week, I'm not even entirely sure I'll tune in after that.
Oh,
don't
do that.
I'm only kidding.
Because if for nothing else, like if your prediction is right, then you could make fun of our team. If our team, oh look, I just I started my tea time a little earlier than you did.
It's impending doom. I know how they're feeling. I mean, last year with my team, man, I knew impending doom was coming. It's just it sucks.
Right.
I almost wish they didn't show like any previews, kind of, because then you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Nah. Also, their performance leading up to this has been. It hasn't been good.
It's to I don't generally like using a Tomlinism in this case, but this one actually applies. The arrow is not pointing in the right direction.
No, it is not.
It's trending downward.
Yes.
Teaming up with Aaron and Natalia, you've hit rock bottom.
Oh, I like it. Oh man, Tar Historian's got to like that too. Hopefully we get some points for that. All right, well that'll be our Amazing Race episode 7 review. Join us next week for episode 8, the Grease Leg. And please, if you haven't liked and subscribed to this channel, please do that now, because we sure could use more views. Hopefully the YouTube algorithm kind of helps out a little bit. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and we will see you next week.